I interviewed him, he auditioned for Dio and got the gig but didn't want it. And then the band Slaughter was calling up and they wanted him to be their guitarist, and he turned that down too.
Yeah, he was a Turner Downer. He's an excellent guitar player, and he's a lovely person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a nice kind of mellow personality. And, yeah.
Now, did it take a while to find the right lineup for the Squeeze album?
It did, actually. It took a long time because John and I both wanted it to be a band. Now, Laura was already in place immediately because I had actually played with her before my first record. She was married to Ian MacDonald, who was in King Crimson, and then he was in Foreigner, you know, the initial lineup, one of the founders of it. Mm-hmm. And when he left Foreigner, he started a band with Laura. Laura had a band called The Girls, and her sister was in it. Kitty was the singer. And Ian MacDonald started this band with Laura. It was Ian from Foreigner. It was Steve Holley from Wings. This guy, Gary Rutger, who I think is a producer now, Laura, and Laura's sister, Kitty. But Laura's sister, Kitty, quit. So they called me, and I ended up singing with that band. It was called Made in America. And, I just loved that band. But it was kind of punky. The songs were kind of punky, and I really went for that kind of dirge, heavy rock stuff. I mean, I just loved to sing that. So when I got my record deal, I left. But Laura and I, we had a band called the Honey Drippers. We had a band called Urges. And every time I was in town, we just put a band together and we play. And we had a power trio with Bobby Misano once. It was Bobby Misano and Laura and I, and we played at Studio 54, and they unplugged us. You know, it was all disco, and we went up there and played, you know, all these songs I had that were these rock, heavy rock things. Heaven on My Mind and stuff like that. And so she was in place immediately. And then Jimmy DeGrasso had been in Y&T, and I can't remember what else, but John Kalodner recommended him, and I thought he was great.
He was also in, I think, White Lion, too, and Suicidal Tendencies briefly.
He was in Suicidal Tendencies after me.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was in White Lion, though. Maybe briefly. God, you know everything. I wish I could go out to dinner with you. This would be fun for me.
All right.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I think it was around the main attraction era of White Lion, right when the rhythm section left in the fall '91. He was with them briefly.
Yes, he did. He totally did. You're right, because I ended up going and singing with Mike Tramp at an AIDS benefit or something.
Oh.
Right, and Jimmy was in the band. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot that. And yeah, so that it took a while. And then we found this guy Dave Marshall, who then went to play with Vince Neil after that. But now I'll tell you the gossip. So then Dave got involved with my friend Vicky, and they had a baby together.
Oh man!
So that was Vicky's been threaded through this whole thing too, and but I don't really keep in touch with Dave that much, but I'm really friendly with Jimmy, and of course Laura. I just saw her a couple of days ago, actually.
Now, were there any music videos from Squeeze?
No, that's why I knew it was over immediately. What happened was, I think several things that people don't really think about, but Kalodner's contract was up at Geffen, and I think they were kind of losing interest in projects that he was involved with, possibly. Also, we did a very specific genre record, and it came out right when that music became anathema, and it was Nirvana was coming out. And I'm not saying that was... I don't feel like that was a bad thing to happen to music, because I'm a huge Nirvana fan, and Pearl Jam, and on and on and on. It was time for a change, but I kind of came right at that moment with this really big Bon Jovi-esque record that was absolutely passed over for those reasons and whatever other reasons. So they didn't do a video for it. I mean, we had a beautiful photo session, but that was it.
Yeah, because I don't ever remember hearing that on the radio that much.
No, I don't remember ever hearing it. Actually, I mean, it was over pretty fast, and there you go. You know, it's life.
Now, were you working on another album after Squeeze?
No, I actually, whatever you want to call it. Excuse me. I felt upset about the record, and John had said, "Do you want to do another one?" But I felt like it wouldn't have been well received at the company, and I also wasn't sure if I knew what I was doing musically, personally. And at the same time, Bo and I were breaking up after our very brief marriage, and it was just a time in my life where I felt lost. I felt like, why am I doing this? Maybe I really don't know what to do musically that would show me the best way, yada, yada, yada. And instead of kind of getting back in there and going for it and enduring, I decided to retire or quit, and I stopped everything. And I went to college, and I went to China, and now I'm going to graduate in June, finally, and I just changed my life completely, and it wasn't a bad decision. I'm spectacularly happy. I miss singing, but it's a long life, and I think a lot of people these days are finding that they have several different careers in the span of their college age to end of middle age.
Do you miss recording or performing at all?
Sometimes I do. I miss performing, and I miss singing, but I sing for my friends sometimes, and sometimes I play a gig around town just for fun. And actually, right now, I've started getting back into the music business, which is strange, but it's more behind the scenes, and that's fun for me because I'm bumping into all of my old friends, and it's a surprise because I hadn't thought about doing that, but it looks like that's what's going to be happening.